China's newest nuclear submarine sank without even a shot being fired. The Chinese Communist Party is trying to cover up this embarrassment, but the US and its allies can't be complacent. Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. Since starting this show 12 years ago, I've traveled to dangerous, disputed waters in the South China Sea, brought anti-CCP leaders to Washington, D.C., been tear-gassed alongside millions of Hong Kong protesters, and now I want to do even more. This show has been on YouTube and Patreon for a long time, but these platforms are changing for the worse. More and more, they're censoring people like me, who tell the kind of truth the CCP doesn't want you to hear. That's why we're building a new China Uncensored premium subscription website. It'll be the Disneyland of all things China Uncensored, with new exciting content that can't be seen anywhere else. And most importantly, it's a place where we can never be censored again. It'll include exclusive new full-length episodes, plus access to an archive of all our old episodes going back more than a decade. And with this website, you'll not only get China Uncensored, but you'll also get the China Unscripted podcast, America Uncovered, and Gamers Unbeaten, all in one place with no ads. And since this will be our own website, it won't be subject to censorship the way YouTube and Patreon are. In fact, once we launch, we're going to stop promoting Patreon and other donation sites. We'll consolidate everything into our new China Uncensored premium site. And with just one monthly subscription, you can get everything you need to have the ultimate blockbuster China Uncensored experience. We'll still continue to put some of our episodes on YouTube, but not all of them. Subscriptions to our new premium website will allow us to fund the creation of in-depth stories for those of you who are already in the know and still want to learn more. I'm talking bigger episodes with long-term research, expert analysis, and on-the-ground reporting. And we'll do special live streams just for our paying subscribers, where you get to talk with me, Matt, and Shelley directly. And we'll create a members-only community of fans, so you can chat with each other as well. And if enough people join, we'll even build you a custom app for iPhone and Android. But to create this website, we need your support. We have a tech team lined up and ready to build it, but first, we'll need to raise at least $32,680. We've set up a special Give, Send, Go page for this. I know this may not be for everybody, but if you're one of our true core fans and you want to join us in building the ultimate China Uncensored experience, I'm asking you to contribute. You can give any amount. And if that amount is $15 or more, we'll consider you an official counter-revolutionary and send you a discount code covering your first month's subscription for free. If you contribute $50 or more, we'll give you that, plus emblazon your name as a hostile foreign force on a special page on our website. And for everyone who contributes $200 or more, we'll also email you a custom-designed electronic plaque with your name on it for being a capitalist running dog. And if you contribute $1,000 or more, you will become official, disgraceful anti-China garbage. You'll receive everything I just mentioned, plus a personal thank you phone call from me. And you'll get your name in a special coveted position at the top of the webpage for all to see. Unless, of course, you want to stay anonymous. So click the Give, Send, Go link below and help us build the new censorship-free China Uncensored Disneyland. And now, on with today's episode. With a whopping 370 vessels, the People's Liberation Army Navy is the largest in the world, larger than the U.S. Navy, which boasts only 296 vessels. It's also growing at a breakneck speed, with the United States Department of Defense estimating China's Navy will reach 395 ships by 2025 and 435 ships by 2030. It's a force to be reckoned with, but it does have one problem. It's not very modern. Take submarines, for example. According to the DoD, the PLAN currently operates 60 of them as compared to the US, which has 71. The PLAN submarine force is expected to grow to 65 units by next year and 80 units by 2035, but 48 of the PLAN's current submarines are diesel-powered, which limits the range and how long they can stay submerged. Enter Xi Jinping's military modernization program. According to the Chinese Communist Party's trumpeter, the Global Times, Xi stressed military modernization at the 20th CPC National Congress back in 2022, and they've been at it ever since. building newer, fancier, higher-tech submarines, especially nuclear-powered ones. But the PLAN has just hit a little bit of a snag, because according to U.S. officials, earlier this year, China's newest nuclear submarine sank, setting back its military modernization. And now we're finally hearing about it. The first indication that something was strange came in July, when defense analyst Thomas Schugart noticed some unusual activity on the Yangtze River near Wuhan. All the best things happen in Wuhan. Now, most of China's nuclear-powered submarines are made in the northeastern city of Huludao, but it's looking to diversify production, so it's moving a lot of that manufacturing process to the Wuchang shipyard near Wuhan. Schugart was keeping an eye on publicly available commercial satellite imagery and discovered a number of floating cranes gathered at a pier at that shipyard. Clearly, something had sunk into the river and needed to be retrieved. But what could it have been? Schugart surmised it was a sub, and satellite images from May definitely show something there. That might be a submarine? But now a U.S. official has confirmed that yes, it was indeed a submarine, and not only that, it was the PLAN's newest nuclear submarine. I guess someone should have told the engineer of the sub that yes, it's supposed to be submersible, but it's also supposed to come back up. According to the Wall Street Journal, which broke the story, the vessel that sank is the first of a new class of Chinese nuclear-powered subs and features a distinctive X-shaped stern, which is designed to make the vessel more maneuverable. It was built by China State Shipbuilding Corporation, a state-owned company, and was reportedly undergoing its final equipping before going out to sea when it sank. The anonymous U.S. official who reported the sunken sub said there were no known casualties and that it's unclear if the submarine had any nuclear material on board at the time, though some analysts suspect it probably did, because leave it to China to make a dumb situation dangerously dumb. Schugart, who is a former U.S. submarine officer, said that the risk of a nuclear leak was likely to be low as the sub hadn't ventured out to sea and its reactors were probably not operating at a high power level, which would be reassuring if China didn't already have a history of letting dangerous stuff leak out of Wuhan and wreak havoc. Of course, the Chinese Communist Party scrambled to cover up the mess, which is why we're only hearing about it just now. And they still ain't saying nothing. Recently, when questioned at a Beijing news conference about the sinking, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson claimed that he was not familiar with the topic and did not provide any additional details, which means he's either a liar or an idiot. That's not accurate. He could also be a lying idiot. But apparently Schugart is not familiar with how the CCP operates because he said in an interview, "Can you imagine a U.S. nuclear submarine sinking in San Diego and the government hushes it up and doesn't tell anybody about it? I mean, holy cow." Holy cow, indeed. This is a pretty big setback. Everything within the submarine is almost certain to be waterlogged, and it could take several months before the submarine becomes operational again. And it does raise certain questions. A senior U.S. official said that in addition to the obvious questions about training standards and equipment quality, the incident raises deeper questions about the PLA's internal accountability and oversight of China's defense industry, which has long been plagued by corruption. You mean a totalitarian world power would have military shortcomings because of corruption? Imagine that. But remember, this is just a setback. China will continue to develop its nuclear submarine fleet. It won't stop. The People's Liberation Army has faced setbacks before, yet none of that has stopped them from behaving violently towards the Philippines, joining Russia with naval drills near Alaska and Japan, intruding in Japanese waters, and planning to invade Taiwan. Meanwhile, the White House seems committed to hosting round after round of talks with the CCP, even as the U.S. military is struggling to meet recruitment targets. China is watching very closely how the U.S. responds to other wars throughout the globe. In fact, it's also supporting both Russia and Iran financially and diplomatically, and even with weapons. Though they deny it, because what would a brutal totalitarian regime have in common with two other brutal totalitarian regimes? We did a video covering that. I'll put a link to it below. But the CCP is trying to spread the U.S. thin, support its enemies, and pretend that it's interested in diplomacy to keep Washington complacent. And incidents like this submarine sinking might encourage such complacency. Instead, the U.S. needs to up its game, particularly while the CCP is in such domestic trouble. Before you go, be sure to head over to our Give, Send, Go campaign. I'll put a link below. And have you ever wondered why Japan is so much cooler than China? Click here to find out why on a new episode from my gaming channel. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.